What Harry Potter house would you be in?
Gryffindor, baby.
Yeah,
You can't see right there.
say you do seem like a Gryffindor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Walkthrough, the most electric show in real estate. I'm your host, Eric Simon, a.k.a. the BA, a.k.a. the broke agent, a.k.a. the Crow, because of all of the escrows that I'm in. Just kidding, I'm not in any escrows whatsoever. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Danny Deals, a.k.a. Daniel Deals. Oh, that's right. Danny Deals is not here, Lindsay. Danny Deals is not here, Ed or Kyle. My co-host, the captain of BAM, has abandoned the show to go hit the links to play a little golf. And I ask you this, Ed. Has Joe Sakic ever abandoned his team? Did Mark Messier, the captain of the Rangers, ever abandon his team? What about Derek Jeter, the captain of the Yankees? Did he ever go play putt-putt when they were playing the Red Sox? No.
Nope.
That's right. He didn't. Exactly. He bailed. That's completely fine. This is going to be the most liked and most watched episode of The Walkthrough ever. So if you're tuning in right now, show Danny Deals what's up. Throw this video a like. And we have an absolute electric crew with us today. We have straight out of New Jersey, Steady Eddie, Ed Stulak, the social media guru, the best dressed savant in the game. Ed, how you doing today?
Oh my God, so good. After all those compliments and throwing those hockey terminologies too, I'm impressed.
That was for you. That was for you right there. I knew if I just went baseball and captains in baseball, it wouldn't resonate with everybody. I'm trying to be an inclusive host here. Joining us from the DC, VA, whatever the three things Lindsay texted me, the quickest guy in real estate, one of the best content creators I've ever seen in my life, a former collab partner, Kyle Toole. Kyle, how
Bro,
you doing?
your intros are electric. I will give you that. I know we've had our beef in the past, but I'm happy to move on from it.
Yes, I'm glad we have swiped that under the rug. For those of you that don't know, I once accepted a collab on a Kyle post and then uncollabed, and it hurt me and destroyed my relationship with him. But now we are back, and now he is on the walkthrough for the first time, and we cannot wait. And of course, joining us, a returning guest, highly requested social media savant as well, mini chat queen, Lindsay Joe, and also the neighbor, I think, of Kyle Toomey. At least you guys live close to each other. Lindsay, welcome to the walkthrough. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Normally, I hate being the only female on the walkthrough, but I love Kyle and I love Ed, so I'm super excited to be here today. This is going to be an awesome episode.
You're in good hands. And by the way, we did have Ed once on the show, but something wasn't working with the camera. It was going in and out. Looks like it's working fine right now. We can see his pretty face, so we are off and running. Let's not jinx it here. We got a great show for you today. We are talking. What are we talking today? We're talking how to build an email list. $6 to double your email list. How Lindsay Joe gained 429 email subscribers in like 2 months. Then we're going to talk about Instagram's new features. Are they testing out longer videos? Are they adding new stickers? Something's going on with Instagram. And then we're going to be talking about 3 pieces of real estate information that all agents need to bring on every appointment. If you like the sound of that, throw this video a like. Please sub to the channel, and let's get into it. All right, so for the first topic, it is by BAM contributor Lindsay Joe right here. She personally said this. Her Instagram, it haunts her, it scares her, it freaks her out that her main following and her main digital presence is on Instagram, because she knows that your Instagram could get duplicated, it could get taken away, it could get hacked. So recently, the last few months, she's been building her email address. In fact, she went from 0 subscribers to 429 in how many months, Lindsay?
3
months, which is fantastic. Yeah. Then she said this. In my first emails that I sent, I had an open rate of 29%, which was extremely frustrating. Keep in mind, all of these subscribers came from Lindsay's following. They were warm email addresses, meaning they willingly shared their emails in exchange for one lead magnet. After researching how to increase her email rate, she doubled it because she was making this critical mistake. The solution is she purchased a Google Workspace email, which transforms email addresses from something like lindsayjoe@gmail.com to, lindsay@joeschmo.com. So she opted into a business starter plan at $6 a month, and immediately her open rate spiked from 29% to 68%. Which is incredible. The average open rate in this industry, I want to say, is like 27%. So, Lindsay, why don't you tell us a little bit about this strategy? Talk about how you've been
Yeah.
building your email list and what sort of stuff you've been sending.
Yeah, definitely through ManyChat for sure. ManyChat has a template called Capture Customer Data with Lead Magnet. And so that has been huge. That has built like the majority of my my email list for sure. And we were just on the BAMX ManyChat webinar too. So if you want to talk about that a little bit too, but ManyChat.
Yeah, I mean, ManyChat DM automation. This is how we're building our email list as well. We are not throwing up links in our stories to our email list. We are throwing up lead magnets, freebies. We are exchanging value for our Instagram commenters by saying comment the word BAM, inviting them to a webinar, or actually sending them something in the DMs to a lead page or magnet. Kyle, big Instagram following right now, getting a lot of attention, millions and millions of views. Are you doing anything on Instagram to build your email list? And if you are, what sort of stuff are you sending out?
That's a great alley-oop to me because honestly, I've been doing this 8 years now, and I hardly send out newsletter, any email related stuff. And actually, reading Lindsay's article and a couple months ago was a huge wake up call to me that I'm missing out on business. Right, most of my business is my peers, and I'm starting to get a lot of my peers' parents that I'm working with selling their houses as they retire. They're not seeing me on Instagram and TikTok. And so when I do send out that one newsletter, which I did about 2 months ago, and I hear from my third grade teacher, hey, how you doing? We're still in the area. It's so nice to hear from you. I'm like, holy crap, you haven't heard from me on Instagram or TikTok in the last year. What am I doing? Right. So honestly, I'm going to be working on my drip campaigns, email, all of that in the next probably 2 months. And Lindsay's article was a huge wake up call to me.
Hell yeah. Well, let's see if you can get to 429 in 3 months, because that is exponential growth. Steady Eddie. I mean, that's incredible. Absolutely. Getting 430 people to opt in. I mean, you're on pace for 1,200 emails this year. That's an enormous list. And I'm sure you're also getting people from open houses and from your actual real estate leads as well. So just getting these specifically from Instagram is huge. Ed, you're the social media king, right? So are you building an email list, or is it all kind of Instagram DMs and capturing leads within the actual platform?
It's unfortunately all through social media. Email is definitely very crucial. I actually just had a meeting this morning with my partners that are going to help me revamp my edstulac.com website, because that's the only platform that I can control to some sense. I can't control Instagram. I can't control Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok. I can't. I can build a platform on there, but if the lights go out, I'm kind of screwed, which going off of Lindsay's words in her article as well. What if you get hacked? What if you have to restart over? So someone once upon a time told me, Ed, the only platform you can ever rely on is your own website. But same thing with email database, which I have to get better. So Steady Eddie is a little unsteady in that department.
Got it. Well, here's the thing with emails is it's not dependent on an algorithm, right? Instagram is so inconsistent, and same with TikTok and Twitter and Facebook for the content that it actually serves and shows people, that it's extremely frustrating. You could work forever on, like Kyle could film one of those videos where they're sprinting around and rates are dropping. But for some reason, for whatever that day, the Instagram algorithm is not pushing his content. It's because of nothing he did. Maybe they have some new updates. Maybe they're adding a new feature. Maybe they're trying to focus your attention on threads. And the email list, that content gets delivered 100% of the time, right? That is a list that knows your content is actually coming. You could also embed your Instagram posts or YouTube stuff in your actual email list. So anyone listening to this right now, I beg you to start building that email list, because people consume content differently. Just like Kyle said, his third grade teacher is not discovering him on TikTok. She's checking emails. Everyone's checking emails. Any thoughts on that, Kyle?
I actually want to add that what you just said, like I've gone viral so many times recently, millions, 100,000 views, TikTok, whatever it may be. And then there's videos that get 200, 300, 400, and you're kind of just back in the reciprocal chain of things. That's not going to happen on a newsletter, right? That's not going to happen on an email, whatever it may be. That's getting delivered. Whether they open or not, that's a different story, but I at least know it's going to be delivered and seen to some extent.
Yeah, exactly. Lindsay, what sort of things are you using in your mini chat? What sort of freebies are you offering your followers to actually get them to opt into your emails?
A lot of different things. I did one recently where I gave them like a free Starbucks drink. So that got a ton of emails. Evergreen guides for sure. I think a lot of times we only think as realtors, and everyone has those buyer and seller guides, but we need more than just a buyer or seller guide. We need evergreen guides that are relevant to our followers, no matter what stage of life that they're in. And so when somebody goes to your page, they might not be a buyer or seller in that moment, but we still want to grab their contact information. We want to grab that data. So making those evergreen guides, like, the top 10 brunches in DC, or something like that. I listed a lot of different examples in that article, but we need to make sure that we have evergreen guides well as like real estate guides.
Here's some examples from Lindsay's article: The Ultimate Foodie's Guide to Austin, discover the best eateries, food trucks, and hidden gems, outdoor adventures in Austin, underrated music spots in Austin. Again, these are just one page, very simple documents that you could just upload a PDF into lead pages, maybe put some graphics behind. Go ahead, Ed.
So my question is that these are good topics. Where do you get the information from? For those that don't know, for example, myself, like the top 3 brunch spots, or here's what you need to know about XYZ town. Where do you get that information from?
I got it, Ed. Your head.
Hit me.
Your brain.
Great.
Because you are,
wow.
Yes, your brain. You are, where do you get the information about your actual area that you're working in? You're in New Jersey, right? I'm sure you have your local, you have your local spots. You could do the top 5 ice rinks that people could do, triple plexes in and deeks, just trying to make it specific to you. But you
very good.
Yeah, thank you. But you could basically just look at your local market, your favorite restaurants, your favorite coffee shops. Maybe it's a complete like discount, a PDF of, maybe you have relationships with all these restaurants and you say, hey, I want to get 10% off for my clients, so bring them there. And it's like a huge coupon list discount for everybody to opt into. That could be a good idea. Kind of like those huge like coupon books you used to get at like soccer games when you were 5 years old. Remember those?
Yeah.
Love those.
No one remembers those. Yeah.
No.
Okay. No one knows.
Hey, Lindsay, can I ask you real quick? Is your Starbucks thing a ManyChat?
Yeah. Explain the Starbucks.
So it's that same template that capture customer data with lead magnet, and it takes them through a flow. So basically I put on my story, if you want a free Starbucks drink, join my email list, and then just reply back with Starbucks. And then that flow will ask them for their email address. And then the very end of the flow will send a picture of the QR code. You can go into Canva too, and you can just type in like Starbucks QR, and they have a bunch of different templates there. You just put the Starbucks QR code like in the actual template, screenshot it, and then you can put that into your ManyChat flow, and then that will be
that's brilliant. I've actually been a part of your Starbucks ManyChat giveaway, and I'm not even one of your clients, and I was so ridiculously happy on that day when I felt like I just walked into Starbucks and there was a gift card that you gave me that day, and I was so happy. Like, I can't imagine what your clients actually thought about that, and that's brilliant. I didn't know that was ManyChat.
Kyle bought 15 breakfast sandwiches on that Starbucks card and
Kyle
almost
did not,
bankrupt your entire operation there.
I don't think that they know that you can actually see how much they order. So somebody went in and ordered like 5 cake pops and 2 breakfast sandwiches. And I was like, geez.
Did you message them?
No, because you can't see who did it. You can only just see the actual Starbucks location. So it was like somebody random in like North Carolina or something.
Spent $1,000 on the gift card.
Yeah, exactly. You can limit it, Lindsay said, so you can say $50 until it actually cuts off. But that's a great way to get emails, the evergreen. And Lindsay's right. They're not always going to be buyers and sellers. And a buyer's and a seller's guide, a buyer's checklist, that's not that fun to download, right? Like, we try to make our ebooks fun to download. Agent tactics, Instagram tips that you should not do, how to get more engagement on your Instagram stories. Like, these are real valuable pieces of information that we're exchanging for emails. So build that email list. And then also what I was going to say is to turn, the listing quiz, Lindsay. This is another brilliant thing that Lindsay's done. She created an entire quiz to wrap emails in. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you did that?
Yeah, it's through Interact. I will say this quiz is very, very challenging to set up. It took me like 8 hours to set this up. So I think that, if you're not super experienced in like building the quiz, I would just opt and start for like, a simpler lead magnet. But both are really great. I mean, quizzes are fun because it takes it makes it about the person who's taking the quiz and not about us. So we're not being salesy. It's fun for them. Like, people actually like taking quizzes. So it's been a good email list builder as well.
What's the platform for that again? What's it called?
Interact.
Okay.
Interact. And then Typeform makes one as well. That's a little bit easier to set up. But
Okay.
Interact, you can see more on the back end. Like if they started the quiz and they only got to question 3, then you can be like, well, what the hell was question 3? Like, why is everybody stopping at question 3? Where Typeform, I don't think you can see as much on the back end.
In terms of this quiz that you're talking about, what is it called? Or like not Interact. What is the actual quiz?
My quiz name was From Likes to Listings. And it was all questions about social media.
Okay, so questions about social media. So going back to I don't even want to say old days. It's not. I think it's still relevant and still happening today. But I don't know if you guys remember going back a little bit when internet was still like a new thing. There were a lot of those quizzes like, what Kardashian are you? Or like, what kind of car are you? And that opted you to like enter your email and all that information. So is it something along the lines of that?
Exactly. Yep.
We were just talking about that in BMX. What Harry Potter house would you be in?
And legit Kyle, what I was thinking.
Exactly. I knew you were thinking that, Kyle. What Harry Potter house would you be in?
Gryffindor, baby.
Yeah,
you can't see right here.
You do seem like a Gryffindor. Ed, what about you? Yeah,
Slytherin for sure. Everyone called me Malfoy for a while, so.
Oh yeah, you do have a little Malfoy in you. I like that actually. See, Slytherins will do anything to gain power. They're super smart. I'm a Slytherin also. Lindsay, you might be a Gryffindor. That's a good thing.
I don't know what we're talking about right now. I've never seen Harry Potter.
Okay, well, everybody should be very familiar with Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. Very simple. Everybody needs that in their vernacular. If you want to learn a little bit more about setting up these mini chats and growing your email list, you have to get in our BAMX group. We got courses on this. We got live streams twice a month, and we have our private community. Use code WALKTHROUGH. It's 10% off. It's literally a cup of coffee a month. We just did an hour live stream on mini chat and had about 30 people on asking us questions. It was fantastic for the audience. All right, let's get into the second topic. This is right up Steady Eddie's alley. Instagram is now testing 3-minute and 10-minute Reels uploads. So once again, the great social media circle of life is taking effect. This is from socialmediatoday.com. As anyone who's paying attention who have probably expected, Instagram is experimenting with longer Reels and clips with 3 minutes and 10-minute Reels. So if people remember, there was IGTV. Remember IGTV back in the day in like 2019? It was kind of Instagram's battle against YouTube, where you could upload, I think, even up to 30-minute, maybe even an hour long. I'm kind of just pulling this out of my ass, but it sounds right. These were these like horizontal videos. We actually had a show once on IGTV called The Broke News Network, but people didn't really like to consume long content on Instagram. So I'm going to kick it to you, Kyle. Do you think these 10-minute long uploads on Instagram are going to be something that you use and that agents should start utilizing?
Well, first and foremost, as the article mentioned, Instagram's trying to be TikTok, right? I find myself going to TikTok to upload my 10-minute video, to condense it, to get it onto Instagram. So TikTok wins in that capacity again, right? As a user, lately, I'm like doing the dishes, doing my yard work, and I put TikTok on and I just scroll because I want constant longer form content, and you can't do that on Instagram. So yes, I feel like Instagram does, for me, need to move to that. And how often have we all probably heard, hey, you need to start your own show, or do like from your friends, a day in the life of real estate. Like you can't really do that. And I think there's so much honesty and transparency in longer form content where we're not editing it and putting a trending sound over it. We just slap it up there. It's 8-minute long and someone really just wants to see what's going on in the weeds. I think that's where Instagram needs to capitalize on this longer form content.
Ed, what do you think? You going to make 10-minute long videos? I was trying to come up with some joke there, but I ran dry there.
No.
You going to make 3-minute long, 10-minute long? You're going to stick to short form?
I will stick to short form, but I will dabble with the long form. I think long form is going to win when you are hooking your viewer like every 20 seconds. Like you're giving them something and then, oh, you want some more? Well, wait for the next 10 seconds. And then, oh, you want a little bit more? Hold on. Well, there's this cliffhanger too. And you got to stay until the end because 2 minutes away, I'm going to tell you exactly what was in that haunted house. And now I'm like, damn it, I got to watch, And so I feel like that's the type of content that one needs to create. So the longer format, well, now that we're talking about it, the thought that comes to my mind is that 10 years ago, we were in such an era where everyone was just content consuming, but not enough content creators. Today, we're in a world where there's a lot of content creators and a lot of content consumers. But now it's like leveling up and graduating to that next level. Like, all right, you guys did good with content creating recently, but let's see how you do with longer form content. Is it going to be quality? Is it going to be good, engaging, relevant? What is it going to be? And I feel like the content consumers that were doing a lot of short form and just like trying to dabble with their iPhone for a little bit are still going to be in the races. But I think those that are really going to prosper are those that are going to take it to the next step and create a little bit longer formatted videos. That could be 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute videos. I mean, look at YouTube. That's only long form, really. I know they're shorts, but I don't go on YouTube to post a short. I go on there to post something long. So I think long format is going to win. I definitely see Instagram doing it over the next very soon, to be honest. And I'm excited. I'm excited to dabble with it.
What about you, Lindsay? Are you going to be uploading 10-minute long posts, or do you think people are still going to be so used to the quick scroll by of Instagram and TikTok that this might become irrelevant?
Yeah, I think this is insane, honestly. It's hard to keep my attention even for like 30 seconds. So like for 10 minutes, like there's just no way. And TikTok tried this in 2022. And I mean, I've never seen a TikTok that's been longer than a minute. I know, Kyle, you said that you do consume like that longer content on TikTok, but I've never seen anything that's been longer than a minute. I don't understand how it's going to be. I just don't get it. I don't know.
I have watched, or not watched, but I have endured my wife on the couch sitting there watching 5 to 6 minute long Taylor Swift TikToks that show side-by-side footage of her first show in Glendale versus the 5th show in Glendale and where she was relative on the stage from the first video to the 5th video, and all this commentary about why she does certain things. So she is consuming long-form content on there. I actually have started to as well. I've noticed that I've been seeing some more 3 or 4 minute long videos. But as Kyle said at the beginning of this segment, long-form is what builds trust. Right? The Broke Agent brand really didn't pick up until I started doing long form. And still we started doing the BNN and the Over Ask podcast and these Marketing Monday videos and all of these shows, because that's when people, like the walkthrough, for example, that's when people really get to hear you talk and hear your insights. When people scroll by on Instagram and they see a 30-second clip of you, that's not really building anything. That's maybe capturing their attention, and that's getting that engagement. But when they actually start to hear you and listen to you, that's what actually gets more conversions. That's why people swear by long form on YouTube. So
I think that's so spot on what you just said, actually, that I'm personally in the process of trying to leverage these eyeballs on me right now to get them in the front gates. Right. And what's after that is to build the trust that I can be their real estate advisor. Right. And I think that's where the long form comes in, not me shaking my butt and running in the streets and, doing Gen Z house tours. Like, that's cool. Like, the next step is to actually get them to know me as a trusted advisor. And I think seeing longer, transparent, honest stuff is how I would capitalize on that.
All of these apps too are trying to become super apps, right? Like Instagram, as I've said before in the show, is infinity stoning every single app with Threads, which should be Twitter, with Reels, which are TikToks, with Stories, which are Snapchat stories, and now long form, which is YouTube, where they're all trying to just be one super app. Twitter is doing the same thing, where now you could upload an hour-long podcast and interviews, and you could upload movies basically to Twitter. And TikTok has photos and is going to have longer form videos as well too. So I think all of these platforms are fighting for that super app status, and it's cyclical the way people consume content too, because if you would have said 10-minute long videos 2 years ago, people have looked at you and felt like, Lindsay, like that is completely insane. But we've seen so much of the short form now that I think it is kind of natural that there's a little pushback against it, where it's like, all right, well, maybe I want to see someone in long form. Go ahead, Ed.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
You're good. Sorry.
All right, sweet. So yeah, any other thoughts on short form versus long form if you're going to start uploading these videos, and what realtors can be doing? I like the idea of realtors doing their own show on Instagram. I think it's a little bit more attainable. Like the YouTube barrier to entry seems a little bit more difficult because you have to do thumbnails, you have to do titles. A lot of agents aren't as familiar with that algorithm. That maybe on Instagram, if you could start doing your own show or your own 3-minute, 4-minute long market update on Instagram, that could be a little bit more attainable.
So I will say that I think, going back to my a quick little synopsis of there was a lot of content creators. Now there's a lot, but the content creators that are going to be doing better and growing are those that will take advantage of the long formatted features that are being added by platforms like Instagram. They're going to implement them, and if they do well, they will be boosted higher. Those that are going to try it and half-ass that video and just throw it out there because, oh, it's 8 minutes, so now I can post the listing video. People are not really going to resonate or care as much, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of watch time or a lot of engagement. So I think those content creators that are going to try to make long formatted videos are the unsuccessful ones are really not going to grow as much, and those that will, like I was going back to that example before, the only long formatted video I watch on TikTok are people that hook me with, like, I don't know why, but at 2 a.m. I'm watching TikToks and they always throw the scariest stuff out there. I'm like so hooked on ghosts and stuff. And I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm so curious. And then I get hooked into it and I watch for 4 minutes later and I'm like, damn, that was TikTok. They just took my focus for 4 minutes. They did a really good job. And so I think if you make it engaging the whole time around, those are going to be the ones that are going to continue growing. So I don't know, long form, it has to be done right, like super right.
Yeah, don't worry, Ed. Spooky season is right around the corner. Halloween is coming up, fall, so your content will be served to you directly. But I agree with you, Ed. Uploading just a 3-minute long listing video just to say, okay, now I'm utilizing this new feature for this platform, that's not going to be it. It's going to be the content creators that create content specific for that platform. This is going to have to be vertical, right? So it's going to have to be vertical skits, vertical listing videos, vertical content that is made specific for the app. And I'm excited to see the innovation that certain content creators use with this. Will realtors create their own vertical shows? Who knows?
What would be crazy is if we as humans evolve so much that our TVs will no longer be horizontal but vertical.
And you're just watching like this.
Right. Can you just imagine sitting on your couch with your fam and just straight up your TV? Like, that's the new way.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't take place. Any final thoughts on vertical video and 10-minute Instagram reels? I'll say this one more thing. YouTube, with the YouTube app, I could listen in my headphones and log off the app. Instagram, when you click away from a video, it clicks away from the audio and from that video. So I'm hoping if Instagram has a new feature where you could click away from the app, it could still play in your headphones. So that way you could listen to shows and stuff that are 9-10 minutes long.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
You're smart. I don't care what they say about you.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing on that vertical front. I mean, have you ever dealt with your videographers trying to see which way they're going to film? Yeah. I would miss that if we didn't have that anymore, Ed. I mean, it's so stressful and hilarious all in one. It's like, we're going to film this way, no, this way. And it's like, figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what what happens with this 10-minute long Instagram videos. Let us know in the comments if you're going to create some sort of Instagram show that's going to be 10 minutes long. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's the people that innovate, the content creators that have the most variety that tend to win. If you just pigeonhole yourself in one thing, one sort of type of content, it's going to be difficult to grow because people want you to constantly be moving on to the next thing. Speaking of moving on to the next thing, let's talk about 3 pieces of real estate information agents need to bring on every appointment. This is by Toole. He talks about becoming the trusted advisor, of course. He says, one thing you should 100% bring on a listing appointment is the seller net sheet and a buyer closing cost statement. He says one of the most important things to bring on an appointment is the seller net sheet or the buyer closing cost estimate, which I just said twice. Show them exactly how the numbers are going to lay out. Financially, how will this impact your client's household? Let them know what the numbers are for their predictions so they have a deeper understanding of how this will impact their finances. The second piece of information that Tom says, predicted mortgage rates. Next, talk to them about where economists are predicting interest rates are going to go. This is a hot topic right now, so stay up to date on the latest mortgage rate predictions from the following companies, and then you list Mortgage Bankers Association, Morningstar, whatever. Third is the lock-in effect. He says to explain that right now there are 90% of homeowners have a 6% or less mortgage rate on their home. So here's what is happening with the folks that are moving, and when rates come down, more buyers run to the market, more sellers are going to enter the market, and sure, monthly payments will be cheaper. But if we're not being super mindful of this right now, there might be an opportunity to buy something with less competition or sell with the great market conditions before the market gets flooded with inventory. So Tom Toole, seller net sheet, predicted mortgage rates, and the lock-in effect. Lindsay, I will start with you. What sort of information are you bringing to listing appointments? Not necessarily in hand, but like, what do you?
I feel like I'm like the worst realtor ever. I bring nothing, honestly. Like,
okay.
You're lucky if I even show up in a bra to our appointments, honestly.
Like, you don't even have a listing presentation?
I mean, I think you should have a general understanding of like where rates are going and that sort of thing. And like, I always just say like, do you want to move? Yes. Can you afford the monthly payment? Yes. Then like, let's buy. I think sometimes we just, we just bombard people with too much information and it actually just really confuses them in the end when really we just have to focus on, do you want to move? Can you afford it? Okay, let's go.
Got it. So you would not go the Tom Toole method and come with stats and everything in hand. Ed, what about you?
No.
What sort of, is there any specific information that you come into a listing appointment with that you want to get across in today's market?
I have a seller guide that I like to leave my sellers with, just a tangible item, so it's longer shelf life. Nothing necessarily that I expect them to dive into and study before our next phone call, nothing of that sort. But it's more so like, oh, there's that guy. I also have
He's got it right here.
Little things like this, which is like a little booklet of properties I've done in the past with my card on the back. So like when I leave that there, like, again, they feel, they feel it, they see it. They're like, oh, he could do this with my house too. So I like to offer things like that. And but other than that, I don't overthink my listing appointments. I come in there, I show them who I am, I tell them exactly what their house could sell for. I'll tell them what needs to be fixed, what not, and then I leave. And when I leave, I send them a video message saying, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to come on by. And then I send them an email as well with a recap of everything that we discussed.
So you text them that video message? Yeah, Ed's big on the video messages. I know every new follower he gets on Instagram, he sends them some creepy Instagram DM message.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love
it's a good move.
I love those videos I've been in the car with you before and you've sent the videos and they're so personalized. Like it definitely makes an impact because no one else is doing it.
Ed, do the video again. Do it. Pretend I just followed you on Instagram.
Yeah, do it.
Hey, what's going on? Eric. You look really good today, by the way. So good to connect with you. I appreciate your follow. Thank you for your support. If there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know. I'm here for you. Ciao.
Nice.
Ed, I followed you today. I didn't get that.
I was going to tell you in person.
Now we're talking.
Kyle, what about you? On listing appointments, is there any sort of information that you're coming in hand with in today's market that maybe differs from other listing presentations?
So I also go in bare bones. You might get the backwards hat, you might get the forwards hat, depends on the day. But I go in strategically bare bones because the first listing appointment I ever went on, I had a decked out presentation, right? One of those old school ridiculous ones. And I didn't get the listing. And the seller said, I asked him why. And he said, you talk too much and you showed me your presentation too much. And I was like, wow, boom, holy crap. So then I decided I was going to talk less and listen more. So I now go into presentations with the mindset of, I want you to get to know me, right? I'm going to listen to everything you say. Now, I do ask you before I meet with you, how much do you owe on your mortgage? Because it is so clutch to not, I don't present a net sheet to every seller, but I have the numbers in my mind based on what I think their home's worth. And then you obviously have to have the remaining balance to know what that number is. And then when you meet with them, you ask them, how much are you looking to walk away with at this sale? And then when you go back and digest your numbers and I send you that follow-up information the next day, I know what number you're looking for. And then I can better tailor the follow-up email to you. Like Ed, I also send a follow-up email the following day and I send my PDF seller plan in that. I don't want to bring that with me at the time because again, I just want to talk with you. And one thing I've been doing more recently too is bringing my assistant with me to that seller presentation so I can focus on talking with you and not having to write down what you're saying. And my assistant's writing down everything so we can send a great follow-up about, hey, I know your kid's going into the 4th grade. Like, my assistant wrote that down. I wouldn't have remembered that. So now we're going in 2 people into these seller presentations.
So you have like a little scribe right there that's just writing everything down. Does
totally got a scribe. And how baller do you look when you bring a scribe with you?
That is sick. That would be cool if they had like an old school parchment paper too, and they're just sitting in the corner with like a wig on doing something like that. When I used to go on listing appointments with my boss, I felt like an idiot because sometimes he would have me and my partner and then another buyer's agent there, and there'd be like 4 of us, and 3 of us are saying absolutely nothing. So we're basically all standing there like a hockey team. There's another reference for you, Ed. And the guy's looking at us, or the seller's looking at us like uncomfortable. Like, is this guy going to say anything, or are they just sitting here? So
when you roll in with like
writing
when you roll in with the flying V and like the Mighty Ducks, and you're gonna
exactly
four deep. That's a lot.
That's amazing. Wow.
Ed, name 4 Mighty Ducks right now.
Next question.
Okay, yeah. Kyle, 4 Mighty Ducks.
Dude, if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have got this.
You watched it a week ago. Lindsay, do you know any of the Mighty Ducks?
Don't even ask me.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, the Mighty Ducks, it's a universally
I don't even know what the Mighty Ducks
watched
are.
movie. Okay, so no Harry Potter, no Mighty Ducks.
Is that a TV show?
Yes.
Charlie Conway.
Oh, what a legend.
Obviously, the captain.
Who was the goalkeeper?
The captain. The goalkeeper, well, there was Russ Tyler, the knuckle puck guy, Goldberg. Connie something, and of course, Banks. Remember him?
Banks.
Yes.
My God.
Banks.
Well, Eric, I am impressed.
Kenny Wu, the Olympian. I mean, I could go for days. D1, D2, great movies. D3, not so much. Let us know in the comments if you watch the Mighty Ducks and what you bring on your listing appointments. Let's get into the marketer of the week, because the marketer of the week might actually be sitting in this very room.
Ooh,
so these are 2 videos. I don't know if it's Kyle. I didn't pick the marketer of the week. No, I did pick it. All right, Haley or Cooper, can we please play this video, because this is incredible. I mean, this is one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life.
Probably you.
No, that would be hilarious though if it was. Look who it is. Ooh. It is Steady Eddie. All right, so this is a Ed Stulak video. The sound is not playing right now, but I just want to line this up real quick. This was Ed Stulak's 1,000th post on Instagram, and I actually found it kind of endearing, and it was one of his best performing videos recently. So why don't we play this with the sound on? Cooper, just refresh.
For my 1,000th post, I want to tell you the top 4 things that I've taken away in my 12-year journey of posting 1,000. Number 1 is make people feel seen and heard. If you give them that opportunity to feel seen and heard, I promise you more love and appreciation will be spread your way, and more opportunities will be brought to your table. Number 2 is reach out to people in a way that you wish you could be reached out to. Mostly what I do is send out video messages, which is a personal approach. It's very personal. You say their name, you say where they're from, and you have a genuine conversation. Maybe you could send a package in the mail. So reach out to people in a way that you wish you could be reached out to. Number 3, consistency has truly paid off. I've posted more on my Instagram story and post than I've ever done before, which has caused conversations to start, new relationships to format, and again, opportunities to be brought to my table. So consistency, cliche, but very true. And number 4 is make sure that you are not creating imposter syndrome when you're on social media. Most of us are on there just liking, seeing other people's posts and saying, I want to be like her, or I want to be like him. It's too much to start comparing yourself. So remember this. You are posting for the days of reminiscence. You want to make sure that when you're old and gray, you say, wow, that's amazing. I did this and I did that. I went on a family vacation here and I did that there. That's what you want to aim for. So just to another 1,000 posts.
All right. I like that post because you talked about consistency, which is something we preach all the time. 1,000 times, that's a lot of posts. You know, that's every single day for 3 years, if that math is correct. I've posted almost 4,500 times on my Instagram page. Like, brands are not built overnight. Not everybody could get a Kyle Toomey video with 10 million views, 5 million views, hundreds of thousand videos, or a Lindsay Joe video, or even an Ed Stulak video. Like, this brand building takes an enormous amount of work, and each post is like a little building block for that brand. It's brick by brick, as Dave Portnoy always says. So I thought that message really resonated with me. I like the Interstellar music in the background. I thought that made it
so good, super
emotional. There was like a light flickering in your face, and it was just like a raw video in your car. So well done, Steady Eddie. Any thoughts, Kyle, Lindsay, Ed, on that video?
You took the words right out of my mouth, that he filmed it in the car, which I thought was the most clutch thing out of that, because people they appreciate things that just feel more natural, and you're not posted up in your beautiful evergreen office behind you, and you just filmed it in your car, and it was awesome. Also, the first comment on that video, that my man's looking for his hoodie. Did you ever get him his hoodie?
Not yet.
Someone just said, "Yo, dude, where's my hoodie?" That's hilarious.
Where's my hoodie?
But I just like calling attention to the fact that you've posted 1,000 times. Like, you have 50,000 plus Instagram followers. Again, it's not because of any viral post, and anybody watching this just needs to understand that it is a slow grind to build any sort of brand, any sort of following. So shout out Steady Eddie, 1,000th post. Like that a lot. And then we have a second marketer of the week, Cooper. If we could play this one. This is a new video style that I like, and it blew me away.
Non-suit wearing real estate agent. My partner and I usually wake up around 6 a.m., snuggle the pups before we grab our morning coffee. We are both huge coffee snobs. Always take the fluffy gang for a shuffle around the block. They wanted to help wake up the little lamb with us today before we all piled in the car to drop her off at summer camp. Babe and I got ready for a workout, mixing a little booty slap, headed out back to our garage gym, finished our pump with a 3-mile run around Old Town Alexandria. I headed off to meet with clients the rest of the day. More coffee, obvi. I showed this fixer-upper in Del Rey with some of the gnarliest textured ceilings you have ever seen. I linked with my stager at a listing. We were prepping for the market, making sure we have the home popping before listing photos are done. Headed back east to meet up with another set of clients to show them this condo-style loft in Old Town. Super dope 12-foot ceilings. Appointments done. Our Friday night tradition is to open a bottle of wine and order pizza. A quick cheers with the little lamb. That is Sprite, by the way. Day wouldn't be complete without a couple urgent emails. Babe popping in the office, and we're off to bed.
Love it.
One of the best day in the life vlogs that I've seen. It's super, quick hitting with the different settings. You introduce it in a way like, not your average suit wearing real estate agents. You're immediately hooked. Like, okay, I want to see the day in the life of this. I love just the voiceover aspect of it, showing the different scenes. And you show like your personality in it, and then you move to the actual real estate activity. So you have showings, you're meeting a stager, you're sending emails, like it's just perfectly executed. So well done, Kyle.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Couple notes on that video real quick. Yes. It was actually filmed across 2 days. Don't know how many followers you have watching this, and I hope I don't get canceled for that, but it was a day in the life of 2 days.
Oh, that is okay. So this is all a hoax and a lie. And Cooper,
I'm all about honesty. I'm all about honesty and transparency. I truly am. But like, you need 2 days worth of content, in my opinion. So, just wanted to put that out there.
Well, it's a super simple video to film. Just film yourself doing activities. It could be over 2 weeks, and then you could splice it up into one day. And then you just did that voiceover on Instagram, right? Like you could.
Yeah, and the one thing Exactly. I was on Instagram. The one thing I learned I was watching the video trying to talk, and I was like, it's not hitting. I just need to write down what I want to say. And I didn't even look at the video, and I just read off of what I wanted to say. And I went from 80 takes to getting it done in one take. So smart. My video guy had been wanting me to do a day in the life for such a long time, and finally got around to it. And the video didn't pop off by any means, but it was very authentic and felt cool. And like, I'll probably end up doing another one.
Yeah,
I like it. Those posts, cool. Though, Kyle, those posts like that, those authentic posts, that's what gets you the business,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, you need those. You need those content differentiators too. I mean, people followed you for the running videos, but then once they see that, they're actually seeing, oh, you're doing business. Oh, I see your partner. Or, oh, I see that you're drinking wine. Like all these sort of like relatable touch points throughout a video that clients are going to be more likely to work with you. I love the day in the life stuff. I like even the makeup videos of someone actually doing some sort of activity from start to finish, because it keeps your attention, right? Like you're watching someone put something together, even if it's like meal prep, where you could still be talking about real estate, but then the attention of the eye is on something else. So I like these styles of videos, and I think you could do an entire 10-minute long video too, eventually, with one of those, like day in the life. How about 10-minute video long of your entire real estate transaction, or day in the life of an inspection, day in the life of an open house? Like you could have a ton of different categories for these videos. Ed, what did you think of that video?
I enjoy the authenticity of it. It was cool, and I, to be honest with you, Kyle, I mean, you just said it before. You followed me today. I followed you today. I don't know you, but now I know you have a wife. You're into health. You're into wealth. You're a real estate agent. You love your fluffy gang. That caught my attention. And I just got to learn about you in a matter of 30 seconds, 40 seconds, however long that video was. So, and that's just first interaction. So I think that video exactly did what it's supposed to do. It doesn't matter how many people saw it, the right ones saw it and got to know you. So
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are videos you make that aren't for the algorithm, right? Those are videos that aren't going to get 1 million shares, because why would 1 million people care about that? But that's a video for your following, where they get to know you on a deeper basis. So mixing up that content is certainly the way to go. And if you want to mix up your content, you got to attend BAM Camp, which is the event of the year, September 20th in Naples. We have an all-star lineup, and you got to get your ticket now. I think we have very, very limited seats left. It's in 2 weeks. We'll pop it up right here as to all of our speakers. There's a link down in the description to BAM Camp. Any final thoughts on anything? Steady Eddie, Lindsay, Kyle, before we head out here? All right, perfect. Fantastic. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on my hat, I'm wearing Grimace from McDonald's. Remember the Grimace shake?
Oh.
Everybody was drinking that purple Grimace shake on TikTok and puking and vomiting and dying and doing all these crazy things. So I figured I would rep old Grimace right here.
That's good.
Kyle, you know who Grimace is, right?
I don't know who Grimace is, but I do want to give you kind of bashed Dan earlier for not being able to make this. I feel like we at least need to say that he banged his face, and I don't know if he put makeup on in his Instagram story but I don't know. I think we should give him,
Did he bang his face? Did he not bang his face? Was it staged? Was the makeup staged? We have no idea, frankly. I mean, the video looked natural. It looked like Dan ran into a door on a Ring camera, but the Ring camera was set up absolutely perfect for this, and there was people in the background. So was it staged? Was it a hoax? Was it real? I don't know. I mean, maybe if Dan
pretty savage.
Exactly.
Maybe an excuse not to attend the podcast today.
Exactly. I don't know if he's going to be golfing today with the black eye. I guess we'll see on the next walkthrough if we decide to have him back. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Make sure you throw this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week on the walkthrough.